All right, ready? Here is arguably, I think, the most important story happening in the entire world right now. And it is embedded in this chart from the environmental analysis site Carbon Brief. So it shows China's fossil fuel and cement carbon emissions over the past decade. And you can see these emissions increase pretty steadily for a while, right? Then in the upper right-hand corner, after 2024, something happens. They stop going up. The line flattens. In fact, China's emissions peaked in 2024 and have since been either flat or falling, which means China is actually decarbonizing, something many believed it could not or would not do, but it is happening, and that is incredibly exciting. That kind of transformation is happening across the world. A recent report found that last year, wind and solar overtook fossil fuels for power generation in Europe. And while we are seeing here in the US record solar and battery build out, it's also kind of a different story here, where Donald Trump is dead set on basically dragging us back to the 1950s, subsidizing coal, running PR for the industry with this demonic little mascot, Kohli, and repealing the single most important EPA finding that regulates greenhouse gas emissions. And so now here we are. The fate of the planet basically comes down to a battle between the ingenuity and the resistance of the rest of the world, including lots of people here at home and states, versus like the Trump administration and the fossil fuel industry. Senator Ed Markey is a Democrat of Massachusetts. He serves on the Environment and Public Works Committee, and he joins me now. Senator, in some ways I don't cover a ton of climate news coming out of the Trump administration because it's all terrible and all bad. I mean, it's just like this, just one bad thing after another. But the significance this week of announcing they are repealing this finding, and it's called an endangerment finding from the EPA, dates back to 2009, the first year of the Obama administration, that basically says simply, carbon pollution endangers public health and endangers the public. How significant is that announcement?
It's an existential question that is now being raised by the Trump administration, and they've made a decision which defies logic, defies the law, defies climate science that the whole rest of the world accepts. It's putting Americans at risk for their health, more asthmas, more cancers, more premature deaths. It's putting us at risk for more wildfires, for greater droughts, for more dangerous storms. And he's doing it on behalf of the oil, gas, and coal industry, which he said in April of 2024 in a campaign event that if they raised $1 billion for him, he would destroy the clean energy industry in the United States, and he would destroy the environmental protections which have been put on the books over generations. So that's the decision that he made yesterday. And it is absolutely going to trigger a response, I believe, at the grassroots in our country because he has put climate change back on the top of the agenda for the United States and for the world.
One of the most striking things about this administration is the obsession with coal. Now, even if let's just take climate change, the biggest challenge civilizationally we face globally, but just put it to the side for the moment and just don't even count that. It's the most expensive fuel. It's got the fewest jobs supporting it at this point. It's been surpassed by renewables annually. It's headed right into the gutter. It's expensive and it's dirty. And yet they are on this like full scale coal propaganda campaign with this AI created little lump of coal. What is going on there?
Coal has met its maker in the marketplace. Yeah. Adam Smith is spinning in his grave as Donald Trump tries to revive an industry that is being outstripped by wind, which is cheaper, by solar, which is cheaper, by new battery technologies, which are cheaper. And so he is, in fact, looking backwards to a 19th century technology instead of ahead to the new technologies which the rest of the world are deploying, including China. And the reason their greenhouse gases are going down now is because of their massive deployment of wind and solar and all electric vehicles. And The United States is now the last nation in the world trying to prop up the coal industry, which is uneconomical. It's unhealthy for the lungs of Americans. It's unhealthy for the workers in the industry as well. And by the way, the Trump administration is undermining those protections for the coal miners in our country as well.
The other thing that's crazy here, so they're very, this administration has basically told the entire tech world and the AI people, like, go at it, go do whatever you need to do. We're not going to regulate you. Build as many data centers as you want. Use as much energy. I saw a statistic today that 7% of all U.S. energy consumption is now just data centers. And at the same time, energy prices are going up and everyone needs more power. They are actively destroying solar projects, wind. It's not just like they're trying to prop up coal, which is sort of ridiculous and not going to work, but just taking a sledgehammer to nearly completed wind projects and nearly completed solar projects. And just, isn't that going to just drive everyone's electricity prices up? Again, not even if you don't care about the climate.
Well, he thinks that climate change is a hoax. He thinks affordability is a hoax. Well, electricity prices went up in the United States 13% last year. Natural gas prices just in New England went up 30% last year. Simultaneously, the Trump administration announced the killing of all offshore wind projects along the East Coast, including projects that were almost completed, that all they needed was a long extension cord to come in and plug it in so that hundreds of thousands of homes would have that cheap, renewable electricity. And if you add in AI, which is a huge electricity consumer, and they can bid the price up for electricity, that's going to cascade down to ordinary consumers, ordinary small business people who are going to have to pay for that much higher price of electricity. So this is an affordability crisis in the energy sector, which Trump is creating. And AI right now is being told they have no responsibility to generate this electricity with wind and solar to reduce pollution and to keep costs down. And as a result, that burden is going to be shifted over to ordinary residential consumers in our country. And come this year, because that's one bill consumers pay every single month, they're going to take it out on the Trump administration. So Republican House and Senate members, beware.
That's a good point. Senator Ed Markey, thank you very much. Appreciate it.